I'm working by myself today. We have finished our porting, cleaned things down very good, so there is no metal debris remaining. Some Permatex valve grinding compound. 4 grit sizes in one application of valve grinding compound. 220, 180, 150, and 120. So it grinds itself down. Fair enough. So the fresh stuff is going to be the grittiest, and as you work it, it's going to get finer. That's cool. Reading the instructions is, gooping all over me. What we want to do, we want to get some of this stuff on the seat, on the faces of the valves. Put a little in there. Wind it open nice and wide. We chuck it up. Our first exhaust valve. Okay. Let's do that. And then we give it the beans a little bit. You don't want to just grind. You want to kind of tap. You definitely don't want the grinding compound to get into the valve stems. It's not doing anything good there, So, and you want oil on the stems. There is the valve and the face, and we're just gonna wipe it. If it looks that good, you can run it for sure. That was just like 30 seconds. Make sure before you put it back in that you're wiping everything down and re-lubricating it. You don't want any grinding compound on the valve stem or anything like that when you reassemble. So you just, this is going to show you any flaws, and obviously we want as few flaws or as minimal as flaws as possible. So let's go see how the flaws look. It looks pretty good. Pretty good indeed. I think we can run that. Yep, it's wide enough. It's clean enough. There's no pitting. We did not grind away a lot. Both edges, at this edge and at the inner edge, it's got a good crispness. I probably will use some better solvent to clean it up good. Before I spin this intake valve, I'm going to show you what I've got. So this is the back of the... and they're not bad, or I would have had them cut. But I did nick 1 or 2 of the seats when I was porting, so I want to spin them all and make sure there's no flaws. Again, about 30 seconds of spinning in there. You see, pretty simple. Let's wipe it down. All right, she's nice and clean. These valves, I like how they cleaned up. I don't feel like they need machined when they clean up like that. These seats, they're pretty, it's kind of amazing almost. They look really good. A little criticism is that I really creeped into the seat. Now I didn't undercut it. Like it comes straight out to it. So didn't undercut it. And there still is plenty of seat there. I don't think it's ruined. But being critical of myself, I don't think I would have gotten that close. I wouldn't do it again on purpose. That's closer than I need to be. There's nothing to be gained in my mind by getting that close to a seat. It's still going to seal, but it's closer than I would have liked. Criticize me in the comments, but yeah, it's going to run great. I'm okay with this. So as long as it all goes, the rest of it goes this good, we're in good shape. So wish me luck. It should only take me another hour or so to get this all cleaned up, and then another hour for assembly, and then on to the next. Next. That's how it goes together. All right. All our valves and seats have been lapped or ground or whatever you say. They have been cleaned, re-lubricated, and reassembled. They move smooth. They have a nice thunk to them as they close. And now it's time to install new valve springs and keepers. But I don't have new valve springs and keepers, so I am reusing the stock factory Slant 6 valve springs. I would prefer not to do it. Budgeted rebuild, like, it's a bad idea. We really should have springs to match this cam, and we are aware that it is a problem. For break-in and for just running around, I don't think it's going to give us any problems in the normal operating range. I think if we try to push it, we're going to be very disappointed in the performance that we get. Luckily, this head can be pulled off while the engine is in the car. Swap out valve springs in an afternoon very easily for the cost of the valve springs and a head gasket. Would rather not do it that way, but that's where we are in the build. So together again, she goes. The proof will be in the pudding. We're going to, I'm just going to dump me some solvent down here and see how much leak down we get. Hopefully tell us if I did a bad or if I did a good. Make fun of me if I failed, and if I was successful, well, you'll know. If this came from the machine shop, you wouldn't lap the valves because of 3-angle valve cut and everything like that. They had a little bit of run time on them and they were hard to tell. I nicked a couple of them a little bit with the die grinder while I was, but it was very superficial, came right out. So I feel good about where we're at, and we're back to assembly. Don't forget your Jimmy hats. The exhaust ones are more like an umbrella shape, and the intake ones are, they cover more. These are a little bit more standoffish, and these ones, the intakes, you got to think there's suction underneath them. So you want a little more resistance to oil getting sucked into the motor, so you have a little bit less of that white smoke. Once these are gone, your engine's going to burn more oil and smoke more. So, you know, you definitely want these in the motor. The keepers should be a pretty uniform gap in how they all fit together. I like to take a little hammer, just a small one, just give them all Let's do this leaky thing. I've got time. I'll do 3 at a time so you can see up nice and close. We'll wipe them nice and dry, and then we will pour some solvent in there and see if anything comes out. I don't really want to take all that back apart. Let's pretend like we're confident. Please don't leak, please don't leak, please don't leak. But if the solvent comes out, you're going to see it right away. It's going to glow in here because it's going to drip or run or whatever. Rubbing alcohol, that'll be very solventy. Not seeing anything. Nothing is good. Nothing is a good. Nope. Nothing. No leaky, no leaky, no leaky. I'll take it to the bank. There you go. Leak down test successful. I feel good. that's going to hold enough compression to get her going.